Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Coughlin again, recording from my basement studio, quote unquote. This is my hand here. I hope you can hear me over the dehumidifier in the background. It's pretty moist down here, so I had to let that keep going. This is video number 5 of the CLT test prep for test 1, edition 1 on the 2018-19 version. We're going to be doing problems 89 and 90 today. Let's get right into it with problem number 89. It says, an isosceles triangle has one angle that measures 112 degrees. What are the measures of the other angles? Now, it gives you a bunch of possibilities, but I would suggest going on your own steam first. Isosceles triangle from geometry means any triangle that has two congruent sides, so two sides that are the same length. Now, if that's true, you might remember also, any triangle that has two identical sides will also have two identical angles that are across from them. So if these are both the same length, then the angles across from them have to be the same size. There's no choice. That's a definition of isosceles, and I think there's a theorem that talks about the opposite angles being congruent as well. But anyway, you notice it says one angle that measures 112 degrees. Well, what would happen if one of these bottom angles were 112 degrees? If you remember, an entire triangle, no matter what, has to total 180 degrees in all of its three angles. So if I have 112 here and 112 here, that's 224 already. It's gone way over 180. That's impossible. So the only way this could possibly work is if the top angle is 112 degrees. Does that make sense? And as we mentioned before, this angle, I have no idea what it is. I'm just going to call it theta because I like the Greek letter. And what would I call this? If it's identical, I better use the identical symbol, theta. So as I mentioned before, what do all three angles have to add up to? On any triangle, it has to add up to 180 degrees. Now, I'm going to simplify this. 112 degrees plus 2 theta, because they're like terms, equals 180 degrees. And now it's just an algebra problem. Subtract 112, cancel. 2 theta equals 68, I think. And then divide both sides by 2, and you should have theta is equal to 34 degrees. Okay, and that means 34, 34, and sure enough, that is choice A. Does that make sense? All right, number 90. This may throw some people. See this funky looking symbol there? They didn't completely make it up. This is actually the Greek letter psi. So it's just a letter. What they're using it for is some sort of function. Normally they do a plus b or a minus b or a times b. This is a math operator. It's not a variable in this case. It's some sort of made up operation just out of, like if you were able to invent addition from scratch, you'd have to design it from the bottom up and say what happens when you add two positive numbers, two negative numbers. You'd have to write all the rules for that. They're inventing a brand new function called psi. So they're saying, what happens when you take A and do this mystery function psi to B? It does this, A squared minus 2B. Now, just as a quick example, what does that mean? Let's just say if I did 10 psi 3. So what does that actually mean? All that means is that 10 mystery function 3 will do this. How do you get the answer? Well, this is A and this is B. Plug them in. 10 squared, I should put parentheses around that, minus 2 times 3. So it'll be 100 minus 6, which is 94. Does that make sense? Now, they want to ask, which of the following yields the largest value? Here, I'm afraid there's no shortcut. We just have to plug them all in. Now, again, here's the formula. So it's A squared. So A psi B is equal to A squared minus 2B. Let's just start plugging these in. So 3 psi 4 is 3 squared minus 2 times 4. I'm just going to plug all these in. Here's A, B, C, D. They used capital letters, but whatever. 3 psi 5 is 3 squared minus 2 times 5. Sorry, I'm getting a little sloppy here because I want to go fast. 4 psi 2 will be 4 squared minus 2 times 2. And 5 psi 7 is equal to 5 squared minus 2 times 7. Again, there's really nothing in here that'll tell us ahead of time which one's going to be bigger. We just have to try them. So this is going to be 9 minus 8, which is 1. That's definitely, I kind of doubt that's the largest value. This is 9 minus 10, which is negative 1. That's even worse. This is 16 minus 4, which is 12. That's the best so far. This is 25 minus 14, which is 11. So it turns out the one that actually gave us the best choice was C, for psi 2. And again, you don't even have to know this is psi. It's just some mystery function. I could design my own function as, C psi d is c to the third minus 2ab, or, well, a squared, you get the idea. You could pretty much design it to do anything you want as long as you use these two letters. I forget which letters I said. It was probably wrong. But they will probably give you another function. Just follow the formula, plug them all in, see which one's biggest. Make sense? All right. So that is number 90. I forgot to label it. And if you like this video, please click subscribe down yonder, or somewhere around here, I guess. And if you want to click like, that's always a perk for us too. So take care, God bless, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.